Hello, dear friends. An evil man will burn his own nation to rule over the ashes, wrote Sun Tzu. Opinion piece. Journey to the shift. Chess game. Silent purge. Action phase. Smoke screen. Strategic pivot. Transmutation. New quantum era. Calculated renewal. White hat operations. Contingency protocols. Time travel technology. Chinese financing offer. New sovereign currency. Beginning of an era of abundance. Let's start. The US government shutdown represents an emergency transition to a new world, according to Ariel Perlotario, who analyzes the implications of the government's operational suspension and the paths toward renewal. In his view, what has been used for evil will be transmuted to serve the people instead of being used as a weapon against us. It seems we are finally in the action phase of this process, because in the midst of what appears at first glance to be a routine government shutdown, a much deeper strategic shift is revealing itself, one that has the potential to redefine the fundamental structure of society. This is not a simple administrative pause. It is the activation of a long-dormant contingency protocols, including presidential emergency action documents, designed to ensure the continuity of essential functions when stability is threatened by legislative gridlock. The executive branch takes the reins to direct critical operations in coordination with military forces. This isn't the chaos it appears to be. It's a calculated renewal. This moment has been anticipated by white hat operations operating in the shadows to safeguard democratic integrity. They recognize that such a suspension offers the perfect opportunity to dismantle the intrusions of the dark side. Those networks of unelected bureaucrats and corporate intermediaries that have siphoned off resources and suppressed innovation. As these structures crumble, space opens for the deployment of suppressed technologies, including advanced systems like medbeds, which promise regenerative capabilities far beyond current paradigms. We know these aren't science fiction fantasies. They represent decades of overdue advances, now poised to modernize energy and infrastructure on a massive scale, ushering in an era of abundance where disease disappears and productivity soars. Majestic 12 covered this years ago. Majestic 12 is the name given to a secret organization formed in 1947. It was created by President Truman to bring together scientists, military personnel, and high-level officials to investigate and conceal everything related to the UFO phenomenon and the existence of extraterrestrial life. Its task included facilitating the recovery and reverse engineering of exotic technology, as well as extraterrestrial bodies associated with incidents like Roswell. At the heart of this transition is the gradual integration of artificial intelligence and platforms like Palantir, which will serve as the neural backbone to orchestrate the transition. Palantir's Gotham and Foundry systems, already proven in high-risk environments, excel at integrating disparate data streams from financial records to logistical networks, enabling real-time auditing and resource reallocation. Palantir's Gotham and Foundry are two advanced data integration and analytics systems, each with specific capabilities tailored to different user types and needs. Gotham is focused on the public security and defense sectors, while Foundry is more versatile for private companies and organizations. Gotham excels at managing operational investigations and complex crimes. Foundry excels at process optimization, multi-source integration, and corporate analytics. Shutdown. The US government has entered lockdown, as is well known. Some warriors of light speculate that this would be the beginning of the 10 days of dementia. It is the first government shutdown in more than 6 years, caused by the lack of agreement between Democrats and Republicans regarding the federal budget. This shutdown directly affects the operation of public agencies and may even impact travelers. The shutdown occurs because the funds needed to keep federal agencies operational have not been approved, reflecting political disagreement between parties in Congress. This type of shutdown can paralyze essential public services, delay payments, and create uncertainty in various areas, from administration to the international economy. A $2.5 billion federal bunker prompted by Executive Orders 13961 and 13818 is intended to launch a new sovereign currency and silence the old treasury. We know from several sources that the linchpin of the global financial reset, the Iraqi dinar, has been revalued and is trading upward on the forex market. Some banks were urging clients to exchange dinars and donks with them, and that Iraq declared Friday, October 3rd as its Independence Day. Smokescreen. As of Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, the private company owned by foreign bankers, US Inc., had been dissolved and defunded, while the new restored sovereign republic of the United States of America became official under common law, no longer subject to Admiralty law with alliance to the royalty of the UK. All of this would actually be smokescreen for a silent purge of the cabal and the beginning of the end of their hold on taxpayer money, which they had held since 1918. This has resulted in dark-side politicians voting against funding their own private company and thus dismantling their own money laundering schemes. In the dead of night, boxes of sealed documents, hard drives, and gold-encrusted layers were removed. Federal buildings were closed. Servers were taken offline. Contractors were sent home. And entire agency floors were emptied. Everything was documented. The gold-backed layers were complete. Every ounce was accounted for. Upon liberation, the world would witness the end of fiat slavery and the birth of a new quantum age, according to Mr. Poole. In reality, Trump wanted the shutdown to happen. He had already taken control of the monetary situation by leading the largest wealth transfer in world history. Weeks earlier, he had greenlit the gold and asset-backed global financial reset, which wrested control of the global monetary system from the cabal and returned taxpayer money to the people. So, what was publicly called a shutdown was in reality a transition from the fiat dollar to the new gold and asset-backed quantum financial system. Treasury and Fed accounts were frozen and transferred to the quantum financial system. Hidden funds, black budgets, and suspicious offshore accounts were also seized. However, the biggest prize for winning this chess game is the vote to shut down the government, which resulted in the US no longer being governed by British Admiralty law, but now under the Common Law Sovereignty Code. This was made possible and official by President Trump signing of the Declaration of Authority and Summons. This declaration formalized the US break with British maritime law and its automatic return to common law and the principles of the original Constitution. Memorandum. The administration notified Congress this week that it has determined the U.S. is engaged in a formal armed conflict with drug cartels located in Venezuela and Latin America that have been designated as foreign terrorist organizations by the State Department, according to the New York Times. President Trump officially declared war on the drug cartels in a memo. The army is authorized to hunt, attack, and eliminate cartel leaders throughout the hemisphere following the deaths of 100,000 Americans from fentanyl. The administration has informed Congress that the U.S. is now engaged in a non-irrational armed conflict against violent drug cartels operating in North and South America. These cartels are considered non-state armed groups engaged in acts of war. Their smuggling operations and poisoning are now classified as hostile direct actions. Planners believe the forces gathering in Puerto Rico and the Southern Caribbean are now sufficient to launch territorial takeover operations against Venezuela, capturing and holding key strategic facilities such as ports and airfields, according to the Washington Examiner. Incredible. Trump is reportedly using time travel technology for the Palestinian peace process, according to Rafa, who also reveals that there are 15 bases testing the medbeds. He explains how President Trump uses advanced technology, including a system called electrogravitics, to predict the future in Middle East peace negotiations. According to a White House spokesperson, this technology allows regional leaders to be shown visual evidence of future events to facilitate peace agreements. Rafa addresses the use of futuristic technology by Trump and his allies to manage international negotiations, advanced medical technology with revolutionary potential, and a complex web of global geopolitical and technological control. He also mentions a possible fall of the Netanyahu government and the collapse of the EU with public exposure of political blackmail. He also discusses an electromagnetic protective dome called the Golden D that US offers to Israel for its protection, and how this technology is linked to Space Force operations and contacts with beings from other worlds. This time travel and future gazing technology is reportedly related to knowledge of the atom, Akashic records, and the ability to manipulate time, space, and energy, thereby connecting past lives with future events. Fulford summary. According to Benjamin Fulford, many secret negotiations have taken place between intelligence agencies and the military about how to permanently shut down the American corporation and replace it with something that serves the people instead of killing them. People are finally waking up. The era of blind trust in authority is over. This is provoking a desperate counterattack from the dark side. The mega-rich are publishing false economic data to convince people that the economy is booming. With digital identification and programmable money, there is talk of absolute control. How can they control the majority when they are few? China maintains an ongoing offer to rebuild US infrastructure, establish a high-speed rail network, build large factories, etc. It has also agreed to forgive all US debt. Trump has rejected this because the projects would not be under elite control. The White Dragon Society has its own offer on the table, which does not involve exchanging slavery for servitude with China. Trump has received offers of virtually unlimited financing, but so far has received no response, no answer. This financing would free the West from the slavery of Babylonian debt. However, in a sign that something big is about to happen in Europe, Restrictions on bank account withdrawal seizures and account freezes have begun in Greece, Cyprus, and Iceland. Asia. Foreign investors are once again setting their sights on China, but capital controls and political risks keep them on their toes. China succeeds in creating a system to convert windows into solar panels. Japanese stocks rise sharply after Takaichi's election as leader of the ruling party. Nearly 1,000 people trapped on the Tibetan slope of Everest by a blizzard. The 200 climbers trapped on the Everest by the severe snowstorm survived. A large meteorite fell near Indonesia with explosions and lights. Maybe it wasn't a meteorite at all. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.